Hey, welcome to another walkthrough. This week we're looking at Excel 8F Seafood Chowder. Let's begin. Let's go ahead and download our files under 8F Seafood Chowder. Let's go ahead and download our materials. Do not download all files, only download each individual file. And open up your student file. And click on Enable Editing. First thing you need to do is ensure that the Solver add-on is enabled. So let's go to our File tab for our Windows users. For Mac users, you might have to go up to your top toolbar. You may also need to do a Google search on how to find your Solver add-in. But for Windows users, hit the File button, go down to Options. From Options, we're going to click on Add-ons, Excel Add-ins, hit Go, and make sure you put a check mark next to Analysis Tool Pack, and make sure there is a check mark next to Solver Add-in. Once they have check marks next to them, go ahead and hit OK. And let's begin. In step number 2, it wants us to display the seafood chowder costs, which we are there. And we want to do a scenario where we look at percent of profits based on different scenarios. So first thing we are going to do, we are going to click in our name box right here. We're going to hit the down arrow, and we are going to select percent profit. And it's going to take us to the cell that is labeled percent profit right here, J5. So once we are clicked in cell J5, we are going to do some different scenarios. So let's go ahead and click on our Data tab, and let's come over here to our Analyze group where it says Solver. Let's click on Solver. Once you open up your Solver's Parameters dialog box, our Set Objective cell should be set to J5. It should have an absolute cell reference, so it should have a $ before and after the J, but J5. We want to set it to a value of 35%. And we want to do it by changing the variables in C4 colon C6. Once we've typed in that information, let's go ahead and hit Solve. And we're going to save our scenario. This is going to be no minimum weight. Once you typed in no minimum weight, do not capitalize the M, do not capitalize the W. The only thing that's capitalized is no. Hit OK. Very important, make sure you put a dot next to restore original values. And make sure you put a check mark next to return to Solver Parameters dialog. And hit OK. Now we want to add a constraint. So let's go ahead and click on Add under Constraints. We want to go ahead and type in C7, and we are going to do greater than or equal to 7.5. Go ahead and hit OK. Notice right here it puts seafood pounds. Let's go ahead and hit Solve. We're going to save this scenario as minimum. Make sure you capitalize minimum. 7.5 pounds. And go ahead and hit OK. Make sure you restore your original values, put a dot next to that, and hit OK. Now we're going to add one more constraint. Let's click on Add. And for this one, we're going to do C6 is equal to C5, and we're going to do the asterisk for the multiplication symbol, C5 asterisk 2, so C5 divided by or multiplied by 2. Go ahead and hit OK. Go ahead and hit Solve. This time we're going to save the scenario as twice as much fish as shrimp. Go ahead and hit OK. We're going to restore our original values again. We're going to uncheck our return to solver parameters dialog box and hit OK. And now we are done. Now we want to see our scenarios. So let's go to our data tab. Let's click on the what if analysis, scenario manager, and we're going to click on summary. And in our summary, we're going to type in equal J5, hit the F4 key for an absolute cell reference, or put a $ before and after the J, comma, C7, hit the F4 key to put the $ before and after the C, or it should read equal $J, $5, comma, $C, $7. Hit OK. And here is our scenario summary that gives us what we would have to do to get a 35% profit. So now we are on step number 9. We want to display the weekly sales worksheet. So let's go ahead and click on weekly sales worksheet. So in I2, so let's go ahead and click on cell I2. We want to insert a formula and sum if function that will sum if at brunch they ordered a cup of soup, or how many cups of soup they ordered for brunch. So we're going to go ahead and come up here to our FX button right here. Make sure you're clicked in cell I2. Click on the FX button. And we want to type in sum if, sum if, SUMIF, hit go. And here it is, sum if. I'm going to hit OK. Our range is going to be menu because it is a named range. Notice how when I put in menu, it says brunch, dinner, lunch. So that is our range, is menu. Our criteria is going to be H2, because whatever this is what we want to count up, which is for brunch. And our sum range is going to be cups, CUPS. So range, menu, criteria, H2, sum range is cups. Go ahead and hit OK. And notice that we get a number of 185. So we sold 185 cups of soup during brunch. I'm going to go ahead and copy this formula down. Remember, come over here to the bottom corner, right-hand corner, get that cross, black cross, click hold and drag it down, and it will copy that formula down. And it wants us to do the same thing for bowls sold. So let's go ahead and click on cell J2. We're going to do another sum if. So I'm going to click on the FX button here. And there it is, my sum if. I'm going to hit OK. Same range. It's going to be menu. Criteria range is going to be H2. But this time the sum range is going to be bowls, because we want to know bowls. So this is the bowls range. So we put sum range as bowls and go ahead and hit OK. And it looks like we sold 155 bowls during brunch. Let's copy that formula down by getting that black cross in the bottom right hand corner. Click hold, drag it down. And there it is. We have how many cups and how many bowls we sold during brunch, lunch, and dinner. So in cell F2, we want to enter an if with a nested AND function to test for lunch profits. See if they are greater or equal to 100. And if it is equal to or greater than 100, we need to return the word best. So to do this, let's go ahead and click on cell F2. Let's go ahead and hit our FX button here. And since we are going to do an if function, let's go ahead and find the if function, or type in if and hit go. Once you find your if function, go ahead and hit OK. So the logical test is going to be that AND function. because we need to know if two criteria are going to be met. So let's go ahead and type in capital A and D, open parentheses, type in B2. So if B2 equals, open quotation marks, lunch. So if cell B2 equals lunch, make sure you close your quotation marks, comma, and E2 is greater than or equal to 100. Go ahead and close your parentheses. So your logical test is going to be and the two criteria that need to be met are B2 equals, in quotation marks, lunch, comma, E2 greater than or equal to 100. If that is true, then we want to return the word, in quotation marks, best. All capital. Make sure you close the quotation marks. If it's false, go ahead and open quotation marks, close quotation marks. What that means is when you do open quotation marks, close quotation marks, that returns a null value. It returns as nothing. So if these two criteria are met, best will show up. If these two criteria are not met, it will be false and nothing will show up. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And notice that nothing shows up because it did not meet the criteria. So I'm going to copy this formula down by clicking on this little dot in the corner here. Here it is, seafood chowder. I'm going to hit open, upload, and submit for grading. And I want to go ahead and close the assignment. I'm going to go ahead and click on my three dots here. I'm going to hit view submissions. And here it is. I got a 100%. I'm going to click on this. You can check it to see if you got anything right or wrong. If need be, you can go back and fix whatever you got wrong and submit it for a better grade. I'll be working on the other grader projects for this week. And like always, have a wonderful day.